What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just going to do a quick review here on the Raptor 90. We've had it for about a month and a half, 2 months now. This thing is absolutely awesome. This is by far the best youth ATV that we could find. It was a little bit big for Mason in the beginning, but he has adapted to it really quickly. If you've been following along with our channel, you've probably seen all the videos of him riding.
Mason soars.
Here comes a little speed demon. But I'm just going to go through some of the features and everything like that this quad has and why you should definitely get it if you're in the market for a small youth ATV. So we'll start up here at the top. Obviously, one of the most important features for a youth ATV or a new rider is a throttle governor. Now I have it out right now, so the throttle can go pretty much to the max. But what you can do is you can screw this throttle set screw in, and it will limit the amount of travel that the throttle will be able to go. So if you have a young kid who is on the quad for maybe the first couple times, you can certainly screw that all the way in. And the Yamaha has another feature that will basically put it in limp mode and will limit it to like 5 miles per hour, regardless of whether this is all the way out. Won't matter how far they push it in, and I'll show you how that's done too.
Boy, check out the triple now. This thing's pretty serious.
So this is a 3-gear quad. It is fully automatic. It has a neutral here in the middle, obviously forward to the front and reverse to the rear. This is a carbureted bike. If you know anything about carburetors and jetting in general, it can be sort of a pain depending on where you live. Here in North Carolina, we have pretty mild temperatures. The summers get hot, but the winters stay pretty mild. So you really don't have to mess with jetting or anything like that, especially if you're going to keep it stock. It is a key on off, and it also has the ignition over here on the left side of the handlebar. As far as the suspension goes, it's set up from the factory pretty well. It handles jumps really, really well. Mason has actually sent this thing, dude, and if you've seen any of our videos, you can jump this thing just about as hard as you want to. Woo-hoo! God. Oh, man. You've got enough suspension travel to get through any kind of mud, terrain, or anything like that that would be safe for them to do. Go, 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 go. Go. Woo! Yeah! Dang, I didn't think he was gonna make it. Woo! Now, as an adult rider, it does have quite a lot of give, especially if an adult's sitting on it. If you are wanting to ride with your kid for a while, you can adjust the spring down here. And basically what you would want to do is just lift the ATV off the ground a little bit, and you can twist it one way or the other to tighten up the resistance on that shock, and then it won't give near as much. Now, I've just left it at factory settings, and it's right there in the center. It's perfect for him. He's only about, 40 pounds maybe. It has no issues whatsoever. Rides perfect with him. It'll run basically with any pump fuel that you put in it. Taking off the seat here, and I'll show you what I meant when I said you could put this thing into like limp mode. So there's this little piece right here, and I don't know how proud of these Yamaha are, but you definitely want to keep up with this. if you have a young kid. So I took it out. He rode with it for about, I don't know, the first 2 rides, and then he was pretty much over it. When I say it goes slow with this thing on here, I mean, it doesn't matter how far you push that throttle in. It'll basically bounce off the rev limiter at 5 miles per hour. Basically, all you got to do, you take this box out right here, and you'll see these 2 Phillips head screws right here. Just back them out just a little bit, just enough to slide this in, and then tighten it back down, and it is good to go. Don't want that feature active, just take it right out and store it somewhere safe. As far as maintenance is concerned, really, these things are bulletproof, any of these small bikes. And this is the stock mod TTR that we have. And I'll go into a little more detail on that in a different video. So if you want to check it out, definitely be sure to check it out. I'm going to go through all the mods that have been done to it and everything like that. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to the channel and check that out. But as far as maintenance is concerned on this bike, this is the air box right here. Very easy to get to. Snap these 2 back, cover comes right off, and you have easy access to the filter. Also, one of the cool features this has, and what I wish the TTR 50 had, is a kickstart option. If you get into a pickle and the battery dies on you, you've got the kickstart right here. You're just gonna back this out right here. It's a little plug covering it up. And you just back it out, throw the Kickstarter in, kick it, get her started, put it back, and you're good to go. So I know when people think of gasoline engines, you think it's going to be super loud. This bike actually is really quiet. It's got a spark arrestor that comes from the factory. It is super quiet. We have driven it with it out, and it's just kind of that droney sound. To my knowledge, the only one to make an aftermarket exhaust for this is the Big Gun, and I've heard it in person. It's obnoxiously loud, so I didn't want to go that route. What we may end up doing, though, are just a few basic mods. I've got these mini Pro Taper bars that I actually bought on accident for this bike, and you'll see that they're too narrow for the triple clamp. I was not able to mount them on there, so I just kind of hung on to them. I'm glad I did, because if you want to replace the handlebars on these, it's super, super easy. That just pops right on, right over the handlebar, and you can exchange them out. Cool thing about this is all you really have to buy is a new set of grips. Unlike these bikes here where you have to get a full-size throttle tube in order for the grips to fit, you don't have to do any of that on this bike. Basically just replace the handlebars out, pop this back on, and you are good to go. Now, outside of the handlebars, I haven't decided fully if I'm going to do it yet. If you think I should replace them out with these Pro Tapers, let me know down in the comments below. Now, I know people like the black theme of these handlebars, and I personally do too. But when you're talking about the strength of these handlebars, these bars are way, way stronger. And if you haven't put a pair of aftermarket bars in your hands, then you won't know what I'm talking about, but you can immediately tell the difference in the strength of aftermarket bars and these stock bars. Mason is 4 years old. He is certainly not the age that they will, allow you to buy this, especially if you tell them it's for a 4-year-old. So don't make that mistake. Don't tell the dealer that, hey, I'm going to buy this 90 for a 4 or 5-year-old, even a 9-year-old, because they legally won't sell it to you. That's just that piece right there. The only other thing that I may end up doing, so I bought a Mikuni 22mm carburetor for this bike, and what I actually ended up doing was some custom jetting myself, and I'll go into detail on the other video, but that's actually the stock carburetor on here. It's got a full exhaust and a 128 big bore kit in there.
That sounds good.
And I did custom jetting on the original carb, so that is a possibility for sure. But what I may end up doing is taking this carb and either installing it if I can, but certainly gonna try to get some more airflow. This like I was showing you a few minutes ago, this air box is enormous. It sucks a lot of power from the bike. So basically what you would end up doing is just replacing this filter directly behind the carburetor for maximum airflow. Now, obviously when you do that, there's gotta be some jet work done. So I may end up just switching out to this Mikuni VM22 if I'm able to. If I'm not, then I'll probably just leave it stock. It's not a huge deal. It's not like he's gonna be, you know, full-time racing this thing or anything. It's already pretty fast. And we're gonna do a top speed review on it here. You know, I'd love to help you guys out in the comments. So if you have any questions or anything like that, drop them down below and I'll be more than happy to, you know, answer anything you got. Other than that, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. If you do have any questions on the TTR 110, again, I am gonna be doing a full walk around on this bike too in another video, probably within the next 2 to 3 days. And I'm gonna go through every single thing that I've done to this bike in full. And if you have any questions there, just let me know. There's a lot of work done to this bike. It's really set up. It's a bad pit bike, dude. Thing's sweet. My daughter loves it. She rides it. She's just 9 years old. Super fast. Got all the power you need. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the Raptor 90. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Subscribe to the channel. And we will catch you in the next one.